There is no defense against Hezbollah's weapons. Let's take a listen to what Scott Ritter has to say.
Hezbollah is in a difficult position right now because Hassan Nasrallah, who has been, I believe, very effectively managing the escalation between Hezbollah and Israel as it relates to the ongoing conflict in Hamas, had established a red line. Basically, that if Israel struck Beirut, Hezbollah would retaliate, and that retaliation would be significant. Well, Israel did strike Beirut, and now Hezbollah is left balancing the need to live up to its words while at the same time continuing this delicate process of escalation management. The last thing Hezbollah needs right now, the last thing the people of Lebanon need, the last thing the people of the Middle East need is a broader, large-scale conflict between Hezbollah and Israel. One that would be extraordinarily devastating for the people and for the infrastructure of Lebanon, perhaps Syria, perhaps elsewhere, definitely Israel. And two, it would not further the cause of the Palestinian people. In fact, it would be a distraction right now when the entire world is focused on Gaza, focused on Israel's genocide. This would be a distraction, deflecting attention away from where it belongs in Gaza to another conflict. But on the other hand, if Hezbollah doesn't respond, then Israel has shown Hezbollah to be an empty suit. And so this video fills the interim between the Israeli attack on Beirut and Hezbollah's inevitable retaliation. This is a marker put on the table by Hezbollah to talk about the potential of retaliation, the inevitability of destruction of Israel if Hezbollah is to retaliate, all the while Hezbollah coordinates with its regional partners, including Iran, on how best to ensure that Israel gets the signal that attacks in Beirut are prohibited, but how to do that without allowing this conflict to blow up out of control. Hassan Nasrallah is in a very difficult situation. This video is designed to buy him time and maintain his credibility amongst the Lebanese population and amongst Arab leaders around the world. Perhaps the most important part of this video isn't the demonstration of Hezbollah's ability to attack Israel. I think that everybody knows that Hezbollah can attack Israel. What it shows is the difficulty of an Israeli response to that attack, meaning that this video tells Israel that if this goes to the next level, Israel lacks the capacity to neutralize, to nullify Hezbollah, that Hezbollah can absorb any Israeli strike and continue to inflict harm on Israel. This is a signal to Israel that when Hezbollah retaliates, and it will retaliate, that Israel then has to decide what their response will be. But if Israel decides to escalate and go into a general strike against Lebanon, hitting Beirut, that Hezbollah has the means of riding out that attack and continuing to inflict harm on Israel. And this is something that Israeli military planners will have to take into account. So this is Hezbollah not just sending a signal to the Arab world, to the people of Lebanon, that we are strong, we are capable. This is Hezbollah sending a signal to Israel saying the price you will pay if you choose to have a greater war with us will be beyond that which you can absorb.
Okay, so I just want to say that I do not completely agree with his assessment when he said that I respect him. He knows way more than me. But my qualm with that when he said that this is a deflection from the reality, this is a distraction from the Gaza genocide taking place when Hezbollah is attacking Israel and Israel is attacking Hezbollah. I don't quite agree with that. The reason for that is because this is not a distraction. This is actually helping Hamas, the resistance force. By the way, I'm not a supporter of Hamas, but what I'm saying, this resistance force in Gaza, they obviously now have to face less Israeli tanks, less Israeli military, less Israeli bombardment, because all of these assets are now being deployed to tackle Hezbollah. So when Scott Ritter is saying that, yeah, this is a distraction and this is not good, well, yeah, it is in the sense that Israel is not getting bad PR for the genocide at the moment, because the whole world, especially the hypocrite Western countries, they're talking about the conflict between Hezbollah and Israel instead of the genocide in Gaza. So yeah, in that sense, I agree that this is a distraction. But if you think about this, it is allowing the resistance force to mobilize its army, to breathe a little bit, because obviously Israel has a bigger military, more weaponry, and more money and all that. But it is nevertheless allowing the resistance force to kind of like re-strategize the whole situation and their move, and then come back fresh. Because again, as I said, the pressure or the attack on Hamas, on the resistance force, I don't want to even use the word Hamas, I call them resistance force. The pressure is now way less than what it was when Israel was not fighting with Hezbollah. So I think militarily, in terms of achieving the resistance forces goal, this is helping. But in terms of PR, how Israel is being portrayed on the world stage as the, as we call them, genocide maniacs, yeah, that is being put off a little bit at the moment. But of course, we are not going to forget what Israel is doing in Gaza.
I believe Israel knows that it wasn't successful. We can evaluate the Israeli strikes, the strikes that they conduct inside Lebanon, the strikes they conduct inside Syria, indeed strikes they often conduct inside Iraq. Part of a overall policy of trying to interdict specific technologies, specific weapon systems from being transported from Iran to Hezbollah. And Israel has a very good sense of what kind of weapons are being sent and how many weapons are being sent and how ineffective their interdiction has been. So I think Israel knows that Hezbollah has these weapons, and Israel understands the consequences of Hezbollah having this weapon. So I don't think that this video was done so much to educate Israel about what Hezbollah has accumulated in terms of the weaponry, but rather to educate Israel about the infrastructure that's associated with these weapons, these underground tunnels, these vast caverns, how these weapons are stored, where they're stored, and how they will be employed. Is that, it's not just that Israel failed to interdict these missiles, it's that Israel is incapable of dealing with these missiles today. So I think Israel knows that Hezbollah has these weapons, but now Israel knows how Hezbollah plans on using these weapons and how futile it will be if Israel tries to interdict these weapons with a preemptive strike. I think Israel and the West, including the United States, understand that Hezbollah is no simple resistance movement and Hezbollah is no simple militia. Hezbollah is a professional military force that in many ways has military capabilities that are beyond that of many state actors. The strike capabilities of Hezbollah exceed that of Iraq, exceed that in many ways of Syria, exceed that of Egypt in terms of precision strike.
I want to play another video from Scott Ritter where he made this claim that there is no quote-unquote defense against Hezbollah weapons. Let's take a listen from this video what he has to say.
I believe that Hezbollah was very limited in their response, that this is not an attack that shows the full capability of Hezbollah, that Hezbollah retains significant military capability that remains unknown to both Israel and the United States.
Wow.
And this is actually bad news for Israel and the United States, because what Hezbollah did reveal appears to be just an aspect of operational planning that allows Hezbollah to overwhelm the Israeli and American defenses to achieve very limited results. This was not a massive attack by Hezbollah. This was a very targeted, limited attack by Hezbollah. And yet it appears that Hezbollah did achieve its results, that Israel has no defense for this. And this is bad news for Israel and the United States, because both were fully mobilized, as you've said, they were prepared for a Hezbollah strike. And yet the least sophisticated of the options available to Hezbollah were able to overcome this defense, albeit in a very limited fashion. Still, Hezbollah was able to penetrate the defense and hit the targets. And I think this is a signal being sent by Hezbollah to Israel and the United States that if this escalates further, Hezbollah has the ability to penetrate every aspect of the Israeli-American missile defense shield.
They have done. If you, they have penetrated deep inside Israel. The attacks, if you look at all of the news right now, these attacks are being conducted inside central of Tel Aviv. So not just inside of Israel, but central Tel Aviv. Shows that Hezbollah, they have mapped out entire country of Israel. Obviously, they are Palestinian. I don't want to call them a country, but you get my point. They have already mapped it out. In other words, there is no escape from Hezbollah. If there is any situation that Hezbollah, they want to accomplish certain task, military mission, they can do so with their missiles and drones. And now we are also hearing reports for Hezbollah to make a precise strike. They have people on the ground. And this is why perhaps we are hearing that Benjamin Netanyahu is conducting his meetings, his central command, from underground. Overall, what picture we paint a picture of absolute devastation for the state of Israel. And now the U.S. is sending more weapons and warships into the sea for the rescue mission. This is a rescue mission for Israel by United States. It is not anymore defending just Israel. It is also to rescue them, because they're on the brink of collapse. At many of the analysts predicted in the past, and this is exactly what is happening right now. I have a comment. Zachariah, thank you guys. First again, Simi, Bombard Clark, Ghost Gravy, what's up, brother? Thank you, brother. I really appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.